Hey there, I'm Teresa Jackson.
And I'm Simon Fox. Welcome back to the Daily's Double Shot.
First, we'll jump right into things with a recap of Reign Supreme, the largest event held by UW's Hip Hop Student Association.
Then, David Christman will summarize some up-and-coming films to keep your eyes on this winter.
Austin Seedentop hits up the quad to see how students are handling No Shave November.
We'll watch a recap of a concert held by the Filipino-American Student Association.
And the last two segments revolve around local superhero Phoenix Jones.
The first will be an old segment of ours about Phoenix when he was first starting. The second will be a discussion about the ethics of an altercation he was recently involved in.
All this coming up
on the Daily's Double Shot.
Ooh, what's this? Try to see.
Yeah.
I'll see you there. Okay.
With the brand new hub, clubs are already starting to take advantage of its space.
The Hip Hop Student Association recently put on their largest event ever, Reign Supreme.
Let's watch.
Last year, the UW Hip Hop Student Association held a large competition with dancers from around the country called Claws Out. This year, they've brought it even harder and hosted Reign Supreme in the Hub Ballrooms. With about 1,000 people in attendance, Reign Supreme was one of the biggest hip-hop events on the West Coast, featuring champion dancers from all around the world. Founder of the UW Hip Hop Student Association and MC for the night, Michael Kwong, had this to say.
This is by far the largest event we have ever thrown, for sure. Tonight's event has many purposes. I guess the most fundamental of them all would be bringing together the Northwest dance community, specifically street dance community, so breakdancing and other art forms within kind of that sphere, and just trying to create a high-level, high-production value event for those dancers to compete in, and to also showcase that to the rest of the, I guess, international dance community or greater community, that Northwest has some really good dancers.
The event was host to a variety of competitions, featuring crew-on-crew breakdancing battles and a 1-versus-1 open-style battle between talented dancers. Representing the University of Washington in the open-style dance against some of the best dancers in the world was Cindy Hurt, an exchange student from France.
I wanted to come to the United States because I'm studying different languages. This is a part of everything I do at school. And then the United States, it's for me like where hip-hop started. And so I wanted to come back here just to see if it's really better than France. I started when I was like 5 with ballet, and then I've tried a lot of dance styles, and I don't know, I guess I was just born with this love for dance. There's no like explanation, it just makes me feel good. I'm honored, really honored. I'm freaking out right now because the battle is coming, but I just want to meet new dancers and share with us because I'm from France and I'm here for a year and I really want to make the most of my stay here, and that's it. Whatever happens tonight, I just want to enjoy, and yeah, that's it.
And so the battle began.
I cut them wide, I cut them long, I cut them fat. I keep them coming by. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day.
The battle was intense, with some of the best displays of dancing we'd seen all night. Although she didn't win, Cindy had this to say.
It was crazy. Dope dancers, I mean, the level was so high. I just loved it a lot. So yeah, it just makes me want to train like again and again because yeah, it was just crazy.
Only time will tell what kind of an effect Reign Supreme has had on the Northwest hip-hop community. But if you love hip-hop, make sure you grab a ticket for next year's Reign Supreme.
Very cool. Best of luck to Cindy.
Up next, David Christman will give us a summary of films we should look out for this winter.
Hello, I'm David Christman, and welcome to Film Focus. Most of the time, I tend to review one film and try to explain what I thought about it, hopefully give you some idea of whether you want to see it or not. However, today I'll be giving you a bit of a preview of what's to come in the end of the year. The end of the year is a very important time in the world of film. There are big groups of people looking for something to do over winter break, and it's also when films have to be released by in order to be considered for the Oscars. As such, if there's a big film release in the second half of the year, it'll probably be about now. I'll try to do these in order of when they come out, but they may be released on different dates where you are, so you should probably check when you can see them if you're interested in seeing one or more of these films. Well, without saying anything more, let's jump into the films that will be coming out soon.
So who's gonna do it, you?
I need Mickey for that one.
New York Mickey?
So what, you want me to do a double? I can handle it.
I don't know if they'll spring for two guys.
It's a two-man job.
First up, being released November 30th, is Killing Them Softly, directed by Andrew Dominic and starring Brad Pitt and Ray Liotta. Brad Pitt plays an enforcer whose job is to track down a pair of thieves that stole from the mob. I'm looking forward to it because it's been a little while since Brad Pitt played a character that was so unambiguously morally wrong. It'll be interesting to see him play such a character again.
Far to the east, over ranges and rivers, lies a single solitary peak. The dwarves are determined to reclaim their homeland.
With December 14th comes a film we've been waiting quite a while for, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. This marks director Peter Jackson's return to the highly successful Lord of the Rings franchise, with an all-star cast including Benedict Cumberbatch, Martin Freeman, Hugo Weaving, and Sir Ian McKellen. Some people have expressed concern over the fact that The Hobbit is being released as 3 films, but I have confidence that Peter Jackson knows what he's doing.
Do you know what a bounty hunter is? You kill people, and they give you a reward. Better they are, bigger the reward. I need your help. I'm looking for the Riddle Brothers. However, I don't know what they look like, but you do.
To finish out the year, there are 2 films coming out on December 28th. The first is Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained, starring Jamie Foxx about a slave-turned-bounty hunter, getting revenge on his former owners and saving his wife. While it will be interesting to see how Tarantino treats the subject matter, can't say I'm expecting anything other than his usual style. If you enjoy his work, more power to you. But I'm personally looking forward to the other film coming out on the 28th a bit more, Les Miserables.
Help me, please, I have a child. So different from this, how I'm living. So different, no, from what is seen.
Les Mis promises to be great. It's one of the classics of literature and of the musical genre, and this film looks to stand up to that illustrious past. Its cast is superb, with Hugh Jackman playing Jean Valjean, along with Russell Crowe, Anne Hathaway, Helena Bonham Carter, and Sacha Baron Cohen. I have a feeling that this will be one for the books. So that's what we have coming up in the rest of the year. Hopefully you heard about a couple things that sounded interesting to you. This is a great time of the year for films, and until I see you again, keep watching those movies.
Thanks, David.
Up next, Austin Siedentoft takes a small sample of students to examine how prevalent No Shave November is among the student body.
Take it away, Austin.
Thanks, guys. Once a year in November, some people participate in what's called No Shave November, a tradition where you don't shave for the entire month. And you might think that I'm participating, but I'm just a little lazy and haven't been keeping up with my grooming. In any case, we're out here on the quad today to poll the student body about how they feel about No Shave November. Is it still interesting and cool, or has interest fizzled away? Let's find out. Spencer, are you participating in No Shave November?
I am.
And why?
Because it's an excuse to not shave.
Why not? I mean, I grew out my beard fully once before, and I figured I might as well just take this opportunity to see what I can do, if there's any crazy things that I can shave it into, or crazy shampoos to get to massage into it. I mean, there's no reason not to.
I guess it was just something that my friends and I decided to do in high school, so I just kept going.
So Tanner, I don't have to ask you, why are you not participating in No Shave November?
My girlfriend doesn't want me to, and I don't know. I guess I break out easier, is what I have found, but that's about it.
Had she not wanted you to, would you?
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, definitely.
Back at home, I've got a couple of friends that think it's the grossest thing on the face of the planet, but I mean, it's my face. I'm going to do what I want to it.
How do your friends feel about you not shaving?
I don't know. They 6 thumbs up over there from my 3 friends.
Turn the camera on. 6 thumbs up.
I do have friends, yes, that want me to shave every day, but that's okay, and my brother included.
You were a friend of Spencer's. How do you feel about him participating in No Shave November?
I think he probably shouldn't most of the time. He has the personality to do it, but it doesn't always look the best.
How do you feel he looks right now?
Better than normal.
About how long do you think it's going to take until he reaches his ogre point?
Couple weeks, probably like 2.
All right. Are you aware that No Shave November is an event to promote men's health?
I did not know that.
Do you feel that by disapproving of his beard, you're disapproving of men being healthy everywhere?
No, I did not realize that. I don't disapprove of men's health.
And how's it coming along? Are you proud of your work?
Yeah, it's kind of itchy at times, but I'll live through it. It's only a couple more weeks.
I'm kind of down for the whole homeless, giant, scraggly beard look, because that's kind of what mine does naturally. But if I can, I'm hoping to get the curly Q mustache going, and then maybe some chops at some point in the future.
And I have like this one part on my chin that just doesn't grow hair. So if I did grow a beard, it would be like there'd be hair everywhere except for right there. So I'd look really weird.
Beards are awesome. They're fun and soft and cuddly.
Well, after a very simple and convenient poll of the quad, every person that we interviewed who had a beard was in fact participating in No Shave November, and it looks like the tradition is alive and well.
Thanks, Austin.
With that dead rat on his face, no wonder he didn't do stand-ups.
Up next, we'll take a look at FOSSA Jam, a concert thrown every 2 years by the Filipino Student Association.
Roll it.
FOSSA Jam is a concert event that takes place every other year as a benefit show in Seattle. It is held jointly by the United Filipino Club of Seattle University and the Filipino American Student Association at the University of Washington, also known as FOSSA. This year, FOSSA Jam took place at Seattle University Peacock Auditorium on Friday, November the 9th. The event features amazing live performances by a number of singers, bands, and dance groups. One of the FOSSA Jam's goals is to establish an entertainment community for the Filipino culture through music and dancing.
Definitely, I think one of the aspects that brings us as a community is through music and a form of art expression. Definitely within the Filipino community, there's lots of different talent, people from different walks of life and different backgrounds, and just music, dance, art, just anything that kind of expresses the culture as well as the individual and identity of Filipinos and Pacific Islanders in general. As being the PIC director and supporting FOSSA is really a privileged and honored moment to see some of the great talent that the Filipino community has to present to the not only the SU and UW communities, but just in general Seattle and anyone who's invited from different areas of the continent, anywhere, just who come here to support the Filipino community.
Among all the performers was Kasama, a hip-hop dance group affiliated to FOSSA at UW. Founded 2 years ago, Kasama has always served the goal to bound everyone passionate about dance. If you love dancing or are interested in joining Kasama, Ferdinand Passion from Kasama Dance Group has this to say.
Definitely, if you're interested at all, join. There's no tryouts or anything. They go step by step, slow for you. If you're completely new to dance, like I was, I had no dance experience before I joined Kasama, and I performed, and we all performed out there, and I feel like we did really, really well. So they make sure that they teach you. They don't care about your background in dance. We welcome everybody.
To the audience's delight, Kasama's wonderful performance closed on a rendition of Gangnam Style, which put the concert into a climax. Fasa Jam 2012 was a big success. It turned a concert into a huge party for not only people from the Filipino culture, but also everyone who loves music and dance. Let's hope the next Fasa Jam will be more engaging.
For the rest of today's show, we'll be talking about Phoenix Jones.
The superhero was recently involved in an altercation in which he legally invoked mutual combat with a man on the Ave.
But first, to give some context, we'll look at our most popular segment we've ever produced, our interview last year with Phoenix Jones.
You may have seen them turning down dark alleys or dashing through Seattle's streets at dusk. Who are these masked shadows? Phoenix Jones and the Rain City superhero movement.
I'm Phoenix Jones, and I started basically a progressive block watch, where instead of just watching crimes and reporting them, we decided to intervene and stop them to keep the citizens safe. I don't want to stop crime by being in a fight every day. You know, when I first started fighting, I'd walk down the street and everyone wanted to fight me. Every drug dealer on the corner wanted to beat me up for walking around being a symbol. Now they know what happens when they mess with Phoenix Jones.
The UW Police Department commented that they would prefer people just call 911 and not try to stop crime, as they believe intervening will only escalate violence. These superheroes made it clear that they're not vigilantes. They do call 911 and wait for the police to arrive, but they also intervene and detain the criminals first.
We're not trying to get the citizens out here to stop crime by themselves because they're not trained for it. You know, what we're trying to do is help people not stand around and do bad things. We're trying to get them to call and report crime instead of stand there and do nothing.
You have to show people what you would assume would be the right way to live, you know, in and out of the mask.
So when did Phoenix Jones become Phoenix Jones?
We're playing at Wild Waves and we're racing back to my car and my son slips. So I pick him up and blood's everywhere. And I cover his leg and he has a split from the top of his knee to the bottom of his shin. He fell in glass because someone had broken the window to my car. And I'm holding his leg shut and this guy comes running across the street with a phone, which is perfect because I was just at Wild Waves. I didn't have a phone on me. It was wet. It's a water park, right? And I'm like, call 911. And he goes, I can't. And I said, why? He goes, it'll ruin my YouTube clip. And he had a video of the whole thing, like the break-in, everything. And he wouldn't give it to police. And I asked him why. I said, because black people don't talk to cops, dog. You know that. And it hit me. There's a stereotype and a stigma that's happening. And people are afraid to step up because of the retribution of it.
Shortly after this incident, Phoenix realized that he needed to step up and fight for people, regardless of the consequences.
And I realized this is it. You've been training your whole life for this, like, accidentally. You know, you did gymnastics for a while, you competitive fought, you have several, you know, professional mixed martial arts fights. This is what you do. I mean, you are this guy.
Phoenix draws his inspiration from the comic book character Nightwing, a normal man who trained to become a superhero. Phoenix respects Nightwing because he tried to stop crime at its source instead of just beating up criminals.
He was a good person all around who had the skills to fight crime. And to me, that's the only real superhero. I'm never going to find a guy who fell from the sky who can fly or that can, you know, jump buildings in a single bound. But I can do backflips off buildings and I can do parkour and I'm in great shape and I can lift, you know, I can leg press 1,000 pounds. And I think that's as close as you're going to find.
So what purpose does Phoenix believe he serves that official law enforcement cannot?
At a time when it's harder to trust the governments and trust the police and trust things because of, you know, circumstances that have happened, you need someone who, in a weird way, is like you. I mean, I'm just like every other 22-year-old. I'm not crazy. I have a job, 9 to 5. I have a kid. I own my car. I make payments. You know, I'm just like everyone else. The only difference is I stand up for people, and that empowers everyone to be a superhero.
I've seen people stand around and look at other people passed out on the ground and do nothing. I've seen people just walk by, and no matter how small what we're doing is literally changing the face of how people see other people, how people see the world.
There's a time when you have to say, am I going to stand for something or am I going to stand for nothing? And whether we're in a funny mask or we're walking down the street or we're in a dark alley, this is a group of 11 people who got together and with the best of their knowledge said, criminals, we're coming. And when you see my gold and black suit walk down the street, you better know why we're here. Our biggest possible evilest enemy is apathy. I'm tired of people looking at other people and doing nothing. And my entire crew's not going to stand for it. If you see me on the streets, you can give me a high five and I'll appreciate that. Or when you see a crime, you can call 911 and do what we're all supposed to do. There's a hero inside each and every one of us, and it's time we do something.
Now that you know who the man is, let's dive into what happened on the Ave.
Last week, Phoenix invoked mutual combat with a man on the Ave. The police then officiated a fight between the two men, and Phoenix ultimately knocked the man out.
Two of our opinion writers sat down to talk about the actions of Phoenix Jones and the ethics of mutual combat.
Let's throw it to Sohrab Andaz and Miles Liados.
Hello, I'm Miles Liados.
I'm Sohrab Andaz, and we're both opinion columnists over here at The Daily.
And today we're talking about Phoenix Jones and his altercation with a citizen on the Ave, in which he incited mutual fight law in order to knock out an opponent.
So basically, mutual combat law, it's not written down anywhere. It's a case law that emerged out of a court case where a judge basically said if two people wanted to fight and they both agreed to it, there's nothing wrong with it and it's not against the law. So Miles, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think that it's a citizen's right to decide if they should have a fight with someone, because I think that every citizen has situations where they might come into where they might need to fight in order to create a safe situation for themselves. You know, as in the case of Phoenix Jones, there were these people were going to follow him, and that's just something that is a huge threat in our society. And I think that he was able to diffuse the situation by actually being able to fight the person.
Sure, but personally, I worry about the people who are on the scene when the fight is occurring. We were lucky that this fight had occurred at the wee hours of the morning on the Ave, but you can imagine if it had occurred during the daytime, the people who were on the would have been on the Ave at the time would definitely have been hurt. And I think about like in two ways, not just in the fight, like getting rowdy and injuring people, but also people like joining the fight themselves. That certainly poses a threat in very populated areas. But yeah, I also think that the law it undermines the ability of law enforcement. These are people who are supposed to protect us. It's their job to do so, and so I just think that it's a little bit archaic for superheroes to go out there to try and save the day or save themselves. Yeah, there are cops for that, but I also feel like it's archaic in the way that it's not actually written down anywhere. It would be nice to have like a very clean-cut law about what exactly you can and can't do, because the way it is right now, it's a little bit obtuse.
And I agree. I think that there are ways in which it needs the case law needs to actually be made into a law, but I don't think that it should be abolished. I think that in the case like you alluded to, how if there were bystanders that could have been in danger, I think that I shudder to think what would have happened if the police officer wasn't there in terms of the bystanders, because I think that it could have escalated into a situation where someone pulled out a weapon or something like that. And if that happens, you want a police officer to be there. So I think that's a huge issue with it. I also think that it shouldn't be abolished, but it should be regulated, because like other things in society that we've seen, like alcohol and drugs, the best way to handle them is to regulate them so that people can use them, because it's inevitably going to happen, and not have to have it be controlled so that it's safer and not largely detrimental to society. So I think that you can apply the same thing to fighting.
Sure. Looks like we're out of time. I'm Sohrab Andaz.
I'm Miles Liados.
If you have any questions, hit us up. But thanks for watching.
Well, that's all for us.
Make sure you tune in 2 weeks from now to catch our last episode of The Quarter.
In the meantime, check us out online at youtube.com/thedaily.
I'm Simon Fox.
And I'm Tanisa Jackson.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time
on the Daily Double Shot.